Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is lots to negotiate about. So I am going to be giving you some latest news on Jude Bellingham. Then I am going to be giving you some latest news on Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. Then I'm going to be talking with you about Koulibaly from Napoli and that. Obviously, on my recent videos today, by the way, my recent video is still uploading. Obviously, I've spoken with you about Salem Leguiez. As you all know now, Salem Leguiez has made an announcement on his new club. Don't forget, I did mention this, on my recent video. You already know the news on Paul Pogba, looking very, very likely staying at Manchester United now, and we do value Paul Pogba around 140 or is it 150 million pounds. And obviously, you know the news regarding Jadon Sancho, and obviously, we are still looking to sign Jadon Sancho, even though, we recently extended Odin Igalo's loan. But Solskjaer has decided to shelve his plans on signing the striker in the summer transfer window. So we are no longer in for a striker. The main explanation is because Solskjaer wants to see how Mason Greenwood develops. Because, I do think that Mason Greenwood has enjoyed a very, very good season. This has been his first full season, by the way, in the senior squad. So that's what I've been talking with you about today. But anyway, we'll start with the news on Jude Bellingham. So, according to recent reports, for Manchester United to sign Jude Bellingham in the summer transfer window, we must offer more cash up front. Now, reportedly, I think it is a deal worth up to £50 million. That's how much it will cost to get Jude Bellingham in total. But Birmingham have said, they want us to pay a lot of money up front for Jude Bellingham. And that. So this is, what's been mentioned in recent reports. Now, obviously, quite a few clubs have been in for Jude Bellingham. Like I mentioned, Chelsea have been tracking him. Also, too, Borussia Dortmund have been in for him. Don't forget, reports were stemming from the German press the other week, saying that Jude Bellingham has agreed to join Borussia Dortmund and he's agreed personal terms and that with them. But obviously, was it a couple of months ago? He actually said that Borussia Dortmund were emerged as the favourites to sign Jude Bellingham. Obviously, open to this point, Jude Bellingham has spent the entirety of his career with Birmingham. Jude Bellingham did join Birmingham's youth academy at the age of 8. And he was in their youth academy for a good 8 years or so. I think Jude Bellingham is now 16 years of age. Is he now 16 years of age, yeah. Like I said, this has been his first full season in the senior squad with Birmingham. Obviously, he became the youngest player to ever represent them, because obviously, he made his debut at the age of 16 years and 38 days. It did say when Jude Bellingham turns 17, he is expected to sign his professional contract, because his current salary at the moment is £145 a week with Birmingham. Now, I think he's played persistently this season. I think he has played around 30-odd games in the Championship as Jude Bellingham. So he has been playing regularly. But he's done very, very well in the Championship as Jude Bellingham. Now, don't forget, back in March, Jude Bellingham visited our Carrington training ground to hold talks with Sir Alex Ferguson. Also, too, Ed Woodward held talks with his parents and that. So, reflecting on that, that fueled quite a lot of speculation up. It did fuel quite a lot of speculation up, did that. Now, obviously, we've already made a promise to Jude Bellingham if he signs for Manchester United. We have said that we will offer him a senior role. And Jude Bellingham's versatility is very, very good, because he can play as an attacking midfielder. I think he can also be deployed as a winner and stuff like that. So versatility, very, very good. He did also say quite a few weeks ago that we want to get Jude Bellingham's brother as part of the deal of getting Jude Bellingham. I think his brother is called Joe Bellingham, and I think he's the age of 15. Now, some players that do come from the Championship to the Premier League, do actually well. Some of them do. Prime example, Daniel James, we got him from the Championship. We got him from Swansea last summer. paid around £15 million, and Daniel James has done really, really well, to be fair. You know, he's played a lot of games this season as Daniel James. I'm surprised he's played as many games to the extent, you know, to be honest with you. I think Daniel James is definitely the foreseeable future for Manchester United. You know, James can play on the left, he can play on the right, but obviously, you know, he's more effective on that left-hand side. So, yeah, so there's still a possibility chance that Manchester United could sign Jude Bellingham. I think it did say before we was willing to pay around 35 million up front, and there would be like 15 million in add-ons, you know. But some people may believe that Jude Bellingham needs another season in the Championship because, you know, analysing it, he's still inexperienced at the moment, and some people may think, you know, he's not Premier League standard as yet. But Birmingham are looking to cash in on Jude Bellingham, you know, to resolve their financial issues, because they have got financial issues, have Birmingham. So, yeah, we've got to pay more cash up front if we've got any chances of getting Jude Bellingham. So that is the latest news on him. Now, let's give you the latest news on Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. Now, I mentioned to you, didn't I, recently, you know, and these stories were stemming from Sky Sports, which is a reliable source, and also they're winning a few other media outlets as well, but they did say that Manchester United are leading the race for Kai Havertz, and it says we was planning to put around the £50 million bidding for Kai Havertz. Probably £50 million isn't going to be enough to convince Bayer Leverkusen to offload him. Maybe we'll have to pay around £60 or £70 million to convince Leverkusen to offload him in that. Now, the Bayer Leverkusen assistant coach has come out and recently made an admission saying that Kai Havertz could leave Bayer Leverkusen in the summer transfer window. Now, it did say a while ago, it was earlier on this season, that Leverkusen, you know, would demand around 90 or maybe even £100 million to offload Kai Havertz. Now, there has been quite a few clubs that have been in for Kai Havertz. Obviously, you know, Liverpool have been long admirers of him. Bayern Munich have also been in for him. You know, Chelsea have been in for him and that. You know, but it did say, you know, recently, you know, that we are leading the race for the player. Kai Havertz has remained loyal to Bayer Leverkusen for several years. Up until this point, he spent the entirety of his professional career with Bayer Leverkusen. I think he was in Bayer Leverkusen's youth setup for a good, was it 6 or 7 years? I think he's been in Bayer Leverkusen's senior squad since like 2016, but since then, he has become an integral part of their team. Don't forget, Kai Havertz became the youngest debutant in the Bundesliga. He also was the youngest player, you know, to reach a milestone of 50 and 100 appearances in the German top flight. He can play as an attacking midfielder, and he can also play as a winner in that, so his versatility is very, very good, is Kai Havertz. I think he has got a contract with Bayer Leverkusen until 2022 and that. So they have made the admission saying that Kai Havertz could leave in the summer transfer window and that. But yeah, you know, he's another player, you know, that has been on our agenda. So that is the latest news on Kai Havertz. I just wanted to give you the latest news on him. Now, let's give you the news on Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli. So the news is on Kalidou Koulibaly. These stories are stemming from Sky Sports Italy, and they have said that Manchester United have submitted a £71 million bid for Kalidou Koulibaly. Obviously, no, that's probably not going to be enough to convince Napoli to offload him. It also mentions that Liverpool and PSG are in for him. I think in recent weeks, Liverpool have been in contact with Napoli regarding, you know, Koulibaly in that. Because Liverpool, of course, were planning to partner Kalidou Koulibaly up alongside Virgil van Dijk in their back line. But I think, you know, Napoli do remain ruthless over their valuation. You know, they have said they do want around £89 million for Kalidou Koulibaly. Now, don't forget, back in March, was it? Kalidou Koulibaly had told the Napoli president that he wanted to leave. It also mentioned not too long ago that Kalidou Koulibaly has decided, you know, that he does want to leave Napoli in the summer transfer window. And it also mentioned yesterday that Kalidou Koulibaly is now one of our priority targets. You know, and obviously, you know, last summer we was relentlessly linked with Kalidou Koulibaly. I think we had a few bids turned down for him last summer, didn't we? Have like a £95 million bid turned down for him. I think also too Napoli turned down a £107 million bid last summer. But Napoli had no intentions of selling Kalidou Koulibaly last summer, you know, they didn't in that. But he is a centre-half, and, you know, Man United are still in search for a centre-half. Even though we have got a lot of centre-halves in the team, you know, we've got Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof that are our first-choice centre-halves. You've got Bay and Tuanzebe that are our backup centre-halves. You've obviously, you know, got Jones, that's one of our centre-halves. Foster Mensah, he can play as a centre-half. Obviously, you know, we've got Marcus Rojo. Obviously, you know, he's out on loan with Estudiantes. I don't think we want him back at Manchester United, but don't forget, recent reports have said that Marcus Rojo is set to return to Man United after his loan with Estudiantes. And his loan with Estudiantes expires at the end of this month. I think Rojo's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Estudiantes. I think we said we want around 12 million to get rid of Rojo permanently. You know, we did get Rojo in 2014. We got him in 2014 from Sporting Lisbon. Enjoyed a good 5 or 6 years with the football club. So in a way, he was a long-serving player. Chris Smalling, he's out on loan at Roma. He's another centre-half we had. I don't think he'll come back to Manchester United. I think we're actually, you know, looking to offload Chris Smalling permanently. But I think, you know, Roma may want to get him permanently because he's done very, very well since he went out on loan with Roma as Chris Smalling. Paulo Finesca, the Roma boss, was talking about him the other week, that he wants to stay and how amazing and how professional he's been for Roma. Smalling did enjoy 9 years at the football club. We got him under Ferguson, obviously, just like we did with Jones and De Gea and all of that. I think we got paid a couple of £1 million for him from Fulham. I think we've said one around £18 million or something like that to get rid of Smalling permanently. So there's a lot of centre-halves in the team, but if the opportunity was there to get Kalidou Koulibaly, now definitely no taking. But I'm still very, very sceptical, you know, that he'll come to Man United in the summer transfer window. I don't even see him leaving Napoli, to be quite honest with you. Now, like I said, Kalidou Koulibaly's been a long-serving player for Napoli. You know, like I mentioned, this has been his 6th season with them. Kalidou Koulibaly has made around 233 appearances for Napoli in all competitions. And he's still got a contract with Napoli until 2023. Like I said, he's got good physical attributes. His hold-up play is good. He shows that ability to play out from the back. He's very, very effective in the air. And I'd love him to go alongside Harry Maguire and, you know, Victor Lindelof in our back line, because I think he'd complement them fantastically well, you know, with Kalidou Koulibaly. Napoli, you know, got him from next to nothing. You know, they only paid around, was it just over £6 million in from Genk. Before he was at Genk, he was at Metz. So Napoli is the 3rd club in Kalidou Koulibaly's playing career. Obviously, you know, hasn't played in the Premier League as yet, and he is in his late 20s. So recently, Manchester United have put a £71 million bid in. Obviously, it's been turned down because Napoli want £89 million. It does also say that we're in for Joe Rodon from Swansea. He's also another centre-half. I think we are seeing him as an alternative to Kalidou Koulibaly. Obviously, you know, it will be a much cheaper solution than Kalidou Koulibaly. I hadn't spoken with you about Joe Rodon for a while. Obviously, you know, Ryan Giggs, you know, actually, you know, instructed Man United to go sign, you know, Joe Rodon, because obviously, you know, Ryan Giggs knows the player really, really well and that. So, yeah. And obviously, you know, another centre-half that's been on our agenda is Daya Upamecano from RB Leipzig and that. But you already know Manchester United's priority targets and that. So, there you go. There you go. And like I said, Tino, Jack Grealish, he's another one of our priority targets. You know, we're looking to get him in the summer transfer window. You know, Villa have already said, you know, they do want 80 million for Grealish. Maybe we've got reservations about paying 80 million. But even if Villa get relegated and, you know, they still want 80 million pounds for Jack Grealish. There was stories coming out the other week saying that we could offer Villa up to 5 players, you know, to try and get Jack Grealish on the board. You know, but we have been tracking him for quite some time. But it's going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches the summer transfer window. You know, like I said, the summer transfer window will be Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. And like I said, he's got big decisions to make in the summer transfer window. You know, what players he's going to recommend in, and, you know, what players he's going to get rid of, because Solskjaer, you know, is going to get rid of more of the deadwood at the football club. You know, he's already got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. I think a total of 19 players have departed the football club, you know, since Solskjaer, you know, got recommended in. I think we got rid of around 8 or 9 senior players, and I think around 10 young players left. But I think in the summer transfer window, at least 5 players are going to go, maybe just a bit more. So we're going to generate money, you know, for the players that do leave in the summer transfer window. I've already gone through review the players that I expect to leave Manchester United. I expect Phil Jones to go. Yeah, like I said, Phil Jones is now into his 9th season at the club. He's been here since the Ferguson era. Jones can't even get in the team now, and he has been mainly inconsistent, let's be honest. I think if we sell Jones, we can get maybe 10 or just over £10 million for him. Small will go permanently, like I mentioned. Angel Gomez, it's looking very, very likely, you know, he's going to be leaving the football club, because there's no signs of him signing a new contract, Angel Gomez. And there were stories coming out last week saying that we'd made a final contract offer for Angel Gomez. It said we offered him around 1.5 million a year for him to stay at Man United, but he's turned down these contract offers because we've put forward quite a few contract offers for him. I think Angel Gomez has got strong reservations about getting into the first team, because Angel Gomez's appearances have been limited at the football club. You know, he's only made 6 first team appearances this season, and I think he's only made 10 appearances overall as Angel Gomez and that. These clubs, you know, that have been interested in him, you know, there's Chelsea that have obviously, you know, been interested. Arsenal were interested, and also too Barcelona were interested in that. His contract expires at the end of this month, so we do need to, you know, make a decision on his future. But Angel Gomez is not the only one, you know, that's found game time difficult. You know, you've had James Garner. He's also found game time difficult. I think probably James Garner will be going out on loan. You've had Tahith Chon. He's also found game time very, very difficult as well. Maybe, you know, we should loan Tahith Chon out. Dylan Levitt, I don't think he's played as far as I know. But he's, you know, found game time very, very difficult. I think we're also going to loan Dylan Levitt out. There was also talk saying that we could loan Ethan Laird out as well. You know, I think Jesse Lingard should be sold in the summer transfer window, because I think he's actually, you know, the worst Manchester United player. It's recently said that Jesse Lingard's been talking with Chris Smalling and Ashley Young over leaving Man United, and recently, you know, AC Milan have been interested in Lingard. Atletico have been in for him as well before. I think it said as well that 4 Premier League clubs were interested in Lingard. I think we could get maybe 25 to 30 million pounds for Lingard, but we do need to cash in for him, because Lingard has found game time very, very difficult since the arrival of Bruno Fernandes, and that he's found game time very, very difficult, you know. And I said, you know, reflects on Jesse Lingard's status at the football club, he should be putting much more better performances out. And look how many years he's been at Manchester United. He's spent the vast majority of his career with us, and that came up our youth setup. Pereira, I expect him to go as well, because, you know, he's been very, very inconsistent. Andres Pereira, you know, had loan spells with Valencia and Granada, don't forget. He's had a couple of good games, but I just think he's too inconsistent. You know, obviously, you know, the news on Sanchez. Sanchez's loan. Inter Milan, want to extend Alexis Sanchez's loan. It's been Inter Milan sporting director recently confirmed that Sanchez, you know, will be staying at Inter Milan till the end of the season. Then Inter Milan are going to make a decision on Alexis Sanchez, whether they're going to get him permanently or not. You know, obviously, you know, Inter Milan have no option to buy Sanchez, or there's no obligation to buy him at the end of the loan. Sanchez joined Inter Milan on a 10-month loan last summer. A 10-month loan. Despite the fact that he's on loan at Inter Milan, we're still paying the vast majority of his wages. I think his loan was due to expire, was it, at the end of this month? Or is it next month, if I can remember rightly? I think we do pay around £6 million, you know, for Sanchez, you know, being on loan at Inter Milan. He's enjoyed a difficult time at Inter Milan because he's been injured. He also enjoyed a difficult 18 months at Manchester United. But I don't think we want Sanchez back at the football club anyway. It'd be very, very good if we could get rid of him permanently rather than loan him back out, because, you know, it will free up our wage bill then completely. So, there you go. But definitely no players are going to leave Manchester United in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's basically said, he wants to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. Solskjaer has already identified the areas in the squad where he does want to strengthen up. I think, Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and that. But I think, a lot of clubs are going to face an unprecedented summer transfer window. Obviously, with the financial issues due to the coronavirus pandemic. And I do believe that the top 6 sides do fear our transfer strategy for the summer transfer window and that. Obviously, we need qualification for the Champions League anyway, to attract players to the elite level. We really, really do. I think Solskjaer may have a budget of around at least £100 million this summer. Maybe he could have a bit more than £100 million to spend in the summer transfer window. Now, don't forget there were stories coming out, like I've mentioned before, last week, was it? Saying that we'd taken a £140 million loan from our £150 million revolving credit facility. The main explanations why we've done this is to help us through the coronavirus crisis and for us, obviously, to get the right calibre players in to Manchester United. So this is, why we've done that. You already know that our debt had risen up by almost 130 million. Our net debt now is just over 429 million, like Ed Woodward revealed a couple of weeks ago now, was it? When he spoke to investors on a conference call. Woodward's been talking a lot though anyway. He did say, was it last month or just over a month ago now? He said, that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer market. So he ruled out big transfers to Manchester United and, he insists that we won't be spending hundreds of millions of pounds in the summer transfer window. We won't be. But, like I said, I think, I trust Solskjaer, to get the players, that he wants in. I really, really trust him. I do. Because, like I've said to you before, I have seen improvements under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I really, really have. Players have improved under Solskjaer. We've really, really improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. What I mean is, Solskjaer's recommended the players that he wanted to recommend in. And we've been, a bit more sensible with our recruitment because, the 5 players that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's recommended in so far have done really, really well. And I think he spent just over £200 million on these players who he's brought in so far. So obviously he's made 4 permanent signings and obviously, got Odin Ighalo on loan. Odin Ighalo recently extended his loan, like I mentioned. So Odin Ighalo is going to be at the football club until the end of January. And that. We've also, like I've mentioned before, we've done very, very well against the big 6 sides this season. We've taken 17 points against the big 6 sides this season. So that's something else that has improved. And there's things that Solskjaer's changed. And, before the football season got suspended, Solskjaer was talking about what has changed at Manchester United since he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. I also credit Solskjaer as well, because he's give every player more or less their chances to... He's more or less give the players their chance, to express themselves. But he did say when he got appointed in as Man United manager, everybody would get their chance to express themselves. I think Solskjaer's, like I mentioned before, promoted the youth very, very well. And he has got a lot of trustworthy in his young players. He really, really hasn't that. But Solskjaer knows that, his job's safe at the moment, like Ed Woodward has said already. Ed Woodward, of course, is willing to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Ed Woodward probably believes that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the foreseeable future for Man United. Woodward, of course, has been at the football club since 2012. Now it's 2020, so this has been his 8th year at Manchester United. Like I said, we've been very, very critical of Woodward. Reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been in the last 7 years or so, with us overpaying for players. Poor selection of managers because, we have sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes. He endured 9 months at the club. Louis van Gaal, he endured 2 years at the club, but we did win the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under Jose Mourinho. So Jose Mourinho also got sacked as well. And so Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era and that. We haven't only been critical of Woodward, we've also been critical of the Glazers as well. The Glazers have been here since 2005 and now we're in 2020. So they have been here 15 years. I think it mentioned that we paid approximately 1.5 billion for the privilege of being owned by the Glazers. So there you go and that. But obviously, a lot of United fans, including me, have been critical of Solskjaer for the vast majority of this season, with some of the decisions and that he's made. And like I've said to you before, these still things that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, does need to work on and that. And obviously, we know that the Premier League season is resuming on the 17th of June, which is about 2 weeks away now. And, the Premier League is going to be finishing on the 25th of July. Obviously, there's 9 games to play in the Premier League. There's 92 games to play in all competitions. In all competitions, there's 92 games to play. So, yeah. And like I said, before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form because, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and Solskjaer will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up. So, yeah, these decisions we've got to make for when the season resumes and, like I said, probably Solskjaer needs to work out his best 11, because he's been making a lot of rotation this season. To be quite honest with you now, I think Solskjaer knows or has an idea of what his best 11 is going to be. Like I said, he's been changing formation persistently this season. He needs to work out his best formation, but probably Solskjaer has an idea now of what formations to go with for the remainder of this season. Could actually go with 3 at the back, because to be honest, we will look more expansive with 3 at the back. But regular this season, we have been going with that 4-2-3-1 formation. Like I said, like I said to you on my video yesterday, there's things that I expect from Manchester United as well for when the season does resume. I expect Paul Pogba to do well. I really, really do. I expect Odin Ighalo to continue his good run of form. I expect Luke Shaw to continue his good run of form. I expect Anthony Martial to continue his good run of form as well. I expect Matic to keep his good run of form because, he was in a good vein of form before the season got suspended. McTominay, I expect him, to keep doing well and that. And maybe I do expect more of the youngsters to get more opportunities, as well, when the season does resume. There's also decisions that we've got to make ahead of next season as well. Left back, we've got to make a decision on that. Is Luke Shaw going to remain our first choice left back, or is Brandon Williams, going to become our first choice left back? Because, like I said, Brandon Williams has done very, very well throughout the course of this season, and this has been Brandon Williams' first season in the senior squad. We've already made the goalkeeping decision. Of course, David De Gea is going to remain our #1 goalkeeper next season. David De Gea, of course, has been our #1 goalkeeper for several years anyway. David De Gea is now into his, 9th season at Manchester United. He's actually, approaching his 10th year at the football club and that. Sky Sports said a while ago that, David De Gea is intending on staying at the football club for another 10 years, but I don't think, that is going to happen. Analysing it, I think David De Gea has, had around 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been here. He has been a liability in the last couple of years or so, but he's still regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world, is David De Gea. When De Gea eventually leaves Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain, because like I said, he began his footballing career in Spain with Atletico Madrid, and we paid around £17 million for De Gea from Atletico Madrid under Ferguson. David De Gea is the highest paid at the club and the highest paid goalkeeper in the world because he's on 375 grand a week, is De Gea. He signed this new contract, was it last September, of course, of last year. Dean Henderson, we're going to allow him to remain on loan at Sheffield United to the end of the season. We probably will loan him back out for next season because obviously, he's not going to become our #1 unless we do recall him from his loan, and obviously, he's obviously not going to be our #2 goalkeeper, but we may not get rid of Dean Henderson permanently because we see him as a long-term replacement for David De Gea and that. So, yeah, there's decisions that, that Manchester United have got to make, and like I said, there's things that I expect when the season resumes. Don't forget, we've got things to focus on when the season resumes. Obviously, we've got top 4 to focus on. Obviously, we're sitting 5th in the Premier League at the moment and we're 3 points behind Chelsea. The FA Cup's a priority for us as well because that's a chance for us getting some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. Also, too, the Europa League's a priority for us because that's a chance for, you know, getting some silverware on the board as well. And if we could win both them, or at least one of them, you know, it would be a memorable first full season for Solskjaer. It really, really would. We haven't won out yet in terms of silverware under Solskjaer. You know, Solskjaer's been at the football club nearly a year and a half now. So, there you go. As you all know, we have got a fully fit squad for when the season resumes, because Solskjaer confirmed last week that, you know, Marcus Rashford and Paul Pogba are back fit now because they've been doing very, very well in training. And James Coo from Sky Sports recently said that Marcus Rashford and Paul Pogba are fully fit and that. So obviously, you know, that is a very, very good news. It really, really is in that. Don't forget, we have got around 9 players' contracts that are due to expire next year. So this is, you know, something else that Manchester United do need to sort out and that, you know, do need to sort out. But hopefully, you know, it works. Solskjaer can get things right and he can get us back, you know, where we want to be. You know, because we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. You know, the last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season and that. And, you know, we haven't dominated English football since the Alex Ferguson era. Of course, you know, Ferguson endured 26 years at Man United. Won a total of 38 major honours, developed a lot of young players as well. But there again, you know, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at the football club. So it does take some managers time to settle in. I don't think anyone will replicate Ferguson's legacy. No one will last as long as Ferguson did. You know, no manager will do that at Manchester United and that. So let's just put that into the equation. There's some United fans that don't think Solskjaer's a foreseeable future for us. You know, there's some United fans saying that, you know, we need to get a manager in at the top levels, such as like a Jurgen Klopp or, you know, Pep Guardiola or something like that. But, you know, time will tell. If it doesn't work out next season, you know, that's when I would get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. But he was very, very close to getting sacked earlier on in the season, don't forget and that. By the way, earlier on today, I give you the news on Timo Werner from Leipzig. You know the news on him now. Where us, Chelsea, Liverpool have got 12 days to trigger his release clause before it expires. So if we want to get him for 49 or is it 50 million, you know, we need to, you know, we've got 12 days, you know, to do that. And Werner's been another striker as well on our agenda. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon.